Oh, hey there folks. How y'all doing? This is Jeff with Real Country with Jeff and Melanie, having a little late night coffee break. Uh, like I mentioned before, our little channel is about real country life, living with the seasons, things that everyday people go through, not the fake stuff, and we do a little hunting, a little fishing, a little gardening, farming, just day-to-day country lifestyle. When we started doing this, there was a couple of things I said I didn't want to get involved in. We don't want to be ugly. We don't want to be hateful. We're not against anything. We're not trying to cause any kind of problems or, nothing like that. But real life is real life. And I have had some things going on for the last few years that just kind of get under your skin. I see some things in the world changing, and they're not changing for the better. And the only way I know to fix it is you got to hold people accountable for their actions. Anybody can make a mistake. Anybody can have a bad day. I learn every day from mistakes I make every day. No shame in that. Nothing wrong with it. But sometimes things change and they're not for the better, and people just overlook it, and it just keeps going and it keeps going, and then the world just kind of accepts it, and it's just standards are lowered, things get worse. We got enough things going wrong in the world today. We don't need it to get any worse. If people would just take a little pride in what they do, if people would put forth an effort and then reward good behavior, and not necessarily, I'm not talking about get very harsh and cause all kind of bad problems, but when somebody does something wrong, let them know it. Tell them it's not acceptable, and let's try to make improvements, and then that way everybody benefits from it. Well, my little gripe is, first time in 40 years since I was a child, I came down with a little tiny health issue about a year ago. Had to start going to a doctor. Nothing major, but I'm 55 now, and like I said, I had about 40 years I didn't have to go to a doctor. Hadn't had a problem in the world. Part of what went on with me, now I'm on a little medication. No big deal. But the medication says take with meals. So I try to have something to eat in the morning and take my medicine, and then at supper time I take my other medicine. Everything's good. Well, here's my little pet peeve. I'm not trying to mention any particular restaurant. This has been going on at a lot of them over the years, and I'm just like everybody else. You get used to it, you accept it. What can you do? When I was a kid, you went to a restaurant because you could get better food than you got at home sometimes, and it was good. Everywhere had good food, clean food, friendly people to take your orders, to help you get what you want to eat. Over the years, it's like you go to a restaurant, and I know it's a burger joint or whatever you want to call it, but it's getting more and more like you're buying stuff at the big box stores and you just microwaving it and nuking it. And really that's what a lot of them's doing. And then they either nuke it too hard and burn it, or they don't nuke it enough and it's raw. Sometimes you wonder if they ain't actually giving you the food left over from the day before. Well, today I stopped at a little place, and I actually stopped at two places. First place I went in, I asked for just a simple sausage and biscuit, and I was told real quick after I stood in line for about 5 minutes to get up there, well, sorry, you'll have to wait even longer. And they had a whole counter full of biscuits. Can you believe they didn't have one? It was just a sausage and biscuit. All the others had other stuff on it. And I was in a hurry, so I had to just never mind. I couldn't continue waiting. So I went on and waited about another 45 minutes to an hour. Went to a different place. This place I went in, everybody was nice, everybody was friendly, helpful. I ordered just a sausage and biscuit and a little thing of hash browns. Went out to my truck and was just going to sit there and eat it before I went on down the road and take my medicine. And the minute I reached in the bag, I knew the hash browns were awful dark. But I thought maybe I just looked at it wrong. Grabbed the first one, it was hard. And I mean, I walked straight from the counter to my pickup. Probably wasn't 25, 30 yards. They were hard as a brick. I ate one, then I looked at another one. I said, well, maybe this one's a little bit lighter. Grabbed it, it really wasn't. These little hash browns, either they cooked them way too long, or they were old ones that had been nuked back up. And I tried to eat a few of them, and if I throwed enough coffee in my mouth, they were tolerable. But I just couldn't eat them. I finished up, wiped my mouth, locked the truck up, took the last 6 or 7 little hash browns still in the container back inside the store. Very nicely, I just asked, could I speak to a manager? Got this young lady. I don't think she's very old, but she was the manager is what I was told. And I told her, I said, ma'am, I'm not trying to fuss, but I said, these have either been cooked way too long or they're left over from yesterday. But either way, y'all know better than serve this. We're grown people. If the food ain't right, throw it in the garbage and start over. You don't give these to the paying customers. People work hard for their money. When you stop in there, you want just something that's cooked decent where you can enjoy it. But when, like I told her, I'm not trying to be ugly, but I wouldn't feed this to my dog. And you expect me to eat it. And she's just like, well, we'll give you some more. I don't want any more. I'm through eating now, and I don't want to get no more of this terrible food. And I just told her, I said, that's not the point. It's the principle of the thing. Everybody works here should be considered an adult. If you're old enough to have a job, you should be considered an adult. And y'all know better than pass this on to people. This can get people sick. And she was just like, sorry. People don't care. And you can't change the world, and I'm not mentioning what restaurant it was because I'm not trying to cause anybody any problems. It doesn't matter what the restaurant was. This is just getting to be the trend. You walk up to the cash register when it's your turn, and the young people just stare at you. And a lot of times if I got time, I just stare back, and finally they're like, yeah. It doesn't make you a bad person. You're not beneath anybody to just say, good morning, can I take your order? I've dealt with the public my whole life. It's no shame on you to be friendly. It don't cost any extra. Just be pleasant. Good morning, how you doing? Can I take your order? Take care of business. Thank you, ma'am, sir. Y'all come back to see us. We'll see y'all tomorrow. It's free. If you're nice to people, they'll appreciate it. And if you do make a mistake on the food, or the cook behind you does, you can, oh, I'm sorry, let me get you another. You know, if you're nice and you try to do a good job, people appreciate that. But if you treat people like cattle, a smart person ain't gonna come back. And I know I won't. And I know my little tiny couple of bucks I spent this morning in the drop of the hat of this big chain is nothing, and no one cares. That's irrelevant. But from now on, I'm just tired of it. I am sick and tired of it. I can get basically the same sausage and biscuit with a few extras added on at one of the big chain stores, already frozen. I can nuke it here at the house and make sure it's right, and I don't have to drive to a restaurant. I only have to pay one little price, and I'm going to do that for a little while. There's a brand out there that I've ate, it's pretty good. I know it ain't probably good for me, But I told my wife, Melanie, uh, I'm fixing to start sitting down on the weekends and I'm going to hunt and find me some kind of little device, the perfect shape to fit on a biscuit. And I'm going to make me some scrambled eggs and cook them, and then we're going to put them in a bag and freeze them. And I'm going to find me some kind of little patty making ring, and I'm going to get me some sausage, and I'm going to pat it out, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cook it, and then I'm going to freeze it. And I'm going to start off with, I'm going to get me some of them old good canned biscuits, them big old jumbo ones, and I'm going to make me some biscuits, and then I'm going to cut them in half. And then what I'm going to do is basically the same thing these other people do, but I'll know I made them eggs and I made that sausage, and eventually I'm going to get out there and make me some biscuits. And I'll just assemble them, put them in the microwave, and cut out all this foolishness. You know better. People know better. You don't feed people like you slop into hogs. And too many people have turned into sheep over the years, and they just take whatever you give them, and well, we can't do no better. Well, you can. You don't have to be ugly. You don't have to show your tail. You don't have to mistreat anybody. But just let them know this is not acceptable, and we're not going to take it anymore. You know, either straighten up, change things, or we'll start going somewhere else, or we'll start doing it at home. That's what everybody used to do. You fixed your own food at the house. You took it in a lunchbox, and hey, many ice chest companies as there are, I've been an outdoorsman all my life. I've ate 3/4 of my life out of an ice chest. Homemade stuff, store-bought stuff, ain't no shame in it. I've always done it. I'll continue doing it, but I am going to quit going to a lot of these restaurants, because if I'm going to pay my money, it's got to where if you go out to eat, what you spend for 2 adults to eat at a sit-down restaurant, you can go to the grocery store and buy the things and cook it better at home. And instead of having one meal, you might have 3 or 4. So it really don't make sense to do it. It used to be convenience. But I get tickled now. Every time you go by a restaurant, the drive-thru can't even handle the drive-thru. They'll take your order, they'll take your money, and then they tell you to pull up, park, and wait till they get it done to bring it to you. That defeats the purpose of having a drive-thru. But like I said, folks, I don't mean this to be a little rant. I wasn't mad at the people. I told them, please don't take it. I'm not trying to be ugly, but you know better. So my thing is, you can keep being sheep, or you can take care of yourself. And if you want to eat healthy and you want to have it fresh and not take a chance of getting sick or having a bellyache, it's better to do it yourself. And that was my little soapbox. Like I said, hope it didn't make nobody mad. I won't be doing this all the time, but we need to bring back the manners, customer service. And like I said, even with my chainsaw carvings, I have people come up to me when I'm trying to sell my carvings. I'll talk to you the whole time you want to hang out. Love it if you bought something, but whether you spend money with me or not, I'm going to treat you like a human being. I'm going to smile and, hey, well, thank you, and y'all have a good day. And if you don't spend a penny, I'll still talk to you. We can still have a nice conversation. Maybe on down the road you'll come back and you'll see something I got that you like. And that's great too. But either way, be friendly. When someone walks up, acknowledge them. Hey there, how y'all doing? Can I help you with something? Something I got you might be interested? Even if it's at a hamburger joint. But anyway, folks, that's enough of that foolishness. Just want to put this little quick video and get it off my mind. Maybe somebody will see this. Maybe some corporate person might run across this and pass this down the line. You know, if you want your customers, treat them like you want them. If you treat them right and give them a good product, they don't mind spending their money. We don't even mind standing in line if we're going to get something worth getting. But anyway, folks, appreciate y'all listening. Hope you like the channel. If you do, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe. Tell your friends. Hopefully coming up the next few days, we're going to put out a lot of interesting videos. Might even do a little sightseeing. But good Lord's willing, the creek don't rise. We'll see y'all down the road in a little bit. Good evening.